What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here, back with more Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, 4th edition, the Rise of the Forsaken campaign, our local campaign. I am your DM for tonight, Mr. Jumbo Thick, as usual, and I am joined by my motley crew of Mr. Jumbo Smooth and Doobie209. If you guys want to briefly introduce yourselves and your characters.
I'm Jumbo in the role.
You are breaking up really bad.
Oh no! Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Anyway, I'm Jumbo Smooth, and I'll be playing the role of Marius Wolf, and I'm a miner in the career path of miner.
Finally. It took a while, but yes, you're finally a full-fledged miner. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully this goes well. And Mr. Doobie, you as well.
Doobie209 here. We're coming back with Seamus McGreedy. And yeah, it's good to be the longest running Warhammer roleplay on YouTube, right?
There we go. Yes. See, someone gave praise. I appreciate that. This is why Seamus is a better character than Marius. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. So, last we left off, guys. Let's just get right into this. Last we left off, a band of heroes, our ne'er-do-wells, took a job from Mr. Brandyfoot for a single silver coin, I might add, a piece, which is, it's a lot of money. It is a lot, but for a single silver coin to investigate a way to get deeper and further into the mine that they have in the town of Sealburg. You guys discovered an interesting tunnel system of some kind through some strange occurrences and a magical scroll. And you took said tunnel and ended up in a very far off, bizarre land to the two of you. Upon arrival, you were beset by dark elves on a beach, viciously attacked and almost killed. Seamus, I believe you still have a broken jaw, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah. You then were mauled by a tiger in the forest. That was fun. Then, after that, you were almost killed trying to gain entry into a local village of the, what you now know, what me and you know, as the land of Nippon, the Nipponese people, the locals there. You were not allowed in at first, and you were pincushioned by a dark elf ambush once again, due to some unlucky rolls. You, however, escaped rather dramatically through a waterfall, a river, a very fast-moving river. Escaped, managed to pull yourselves up onto the rocks, and then climbed to safety. Where then you came upon a interesting encounter where some more corsairs had apparently infiltrated into the area behind the walls of the village, where some women were taking a bath in a nearby hot spring, because, you know, we can't be in the Far East without a hot spring. There has to be at least one episode with a hot spring, so it was mandatory. After that, you were confronted by the locals who heard the commotion and were treated with generosity and respect in their village. Mostly, I guess. You experienced a supposed banquet or some kind of party, apparently, in celebration of your deeds of saving the women and running off and killing the dark elf captives. Where then you may have gotten a little too inebriated and ended up ingesting a foul liquid of some kind at the behest of some scantily clad women. I believe Seamus and Marius both drank it willingly. which was a plus for me. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Made it even more. It just made it so much better for me.
We saved.
You did. They were the women you saved. It's true. It's true. You then lost consciousness, and when you awoke, you were in a cage. A cage being drawn by some kind of horse, probably. And you were shackled by your feet. Not both feet, just 1 foot each. To each other, and also to a new friend that you encountered on the beach, a dark elf corsair. That Marius and this corsair have had quite the vendetta against each other, I might say. They've tried to kill each other several times at this point, but you are shackled together. You managed, through a very opportune moment and some very good role play, to loosen the bamboo kind of bars of the cage, and during a beastman attack on the men that were escorting you somewhere, you have no idea, you made your escape. You not only made your escape, you managed to recover some of your equipment and slay several beastmen in the process, but not before a man directed by apparently the leader of this troop, who was a mounted samurai in very thick plated armor that you've seen before. They were all wearing the red masks with the kind of rodent kind of face on them that you guys have also seen before. Very, very familiar indeed over this adventure thus far. And he directed one of his men as the attack was not going so hot for the men of Nippon, and he appeared to retreat, or at least move in the same direction you were traveling, and he just took off out of sight on a horse. The man he was talking to removed his jacket and ignited fuses that you now both know were connected to several bombs strapped to his chest, and in a kamikaze attempt to take you both out, he ran in your direction, though you managed to flee far enough away to not be caught up in the direct blast, however, not lucky enough to outrun the shrapnel that followed. And I believe both of you took some serious damage before the end of the episode, so that about leaves us off right where we left off, unless you guys can think of anything else I might have missed.
We soiled ourselves.
It up.
What was that? Too many people talking.
we soiled ourselves.
Oh, yes. I did forget about that. That's correct. You guys are also shoeless. Yeah, no shoes.
Yes.
And yes, you both have soiled yourself at some point because you were not allowed to leave the cage. And you both pretended to be asleep for a day. So you didn't move, so you just crapped yourselves and pissed yourselves. So that happened as well. And you have not eaten for at least, as far as you know, you haven't eaten for at least a full day. So be thinking about that as we enter in the next episode. All right, so if you guys are in agreement, are you guys ready to pick up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the scene currently before you in the aftermath of the very dramatic explosion that took place is you guys are still in the kind of thick wooded area. You are at an incline heading up a mountain path if you choose to keep heading in that direction. You're both face down in the dirt. Splinters riddled both of you. You more so, Seamus. You got the brunt of it, it appears. Marius slightly. And the elf, nimbly, the dark elf corsair that you are tethered to, nimbly dodged all of the shards of shrapnel and took no damage whatsoever. But so he's currently standing, and he walks over to you, Marius, because you are the center of the links to both of these people. You're in the middle. Seamus, you're on one end, and then the elf is on the other end. The links do, I will say this, the links kind of the chain appears to be one solid piece of chain. It's not multiple chains connecting you, if that makes any sense. So you guys are essentially all tethered together with about 4 feet in between each other on this very tight, well, it's not tight, it's just a very thick chain, which Marius did attempt to break to some effect, though not as much as you probably hoped for in the moment. You did actually make some damage into it, though, because you had a critical success, I might add, but that is neither here nor there. So you guys do have about 4 feet in between each of you. You're currently face down, and the Dark Elf is going to run up to you, Marius, and he puts his hands down on you. We gotta go! And he's picking you up, and he appears to be somewhat a little shaken by the events that just transpired, and he appears as he begins to try to hoist you up. Are you just going to allow him to pick you up?
I'm gonna definitely try to help myself up.
Okay, he's attempting to help. Are you gonna like shoo him away?
Nah, probably in the moment.
Okay,
probably kind of dazed, All
right, so in your kind of dazed state, he begins picking you up, and Seamus, are you picking yourself up as well?
Probably very slowly. The amount of damage I took.
Okay, let me make a roll real quick. Yeah, Seamus, you're in rough shape. All right. So he gets you guys on. He gets you on your feet, Marius, and he's directing you guys to move with him up the incline. We got to get away from here. They could come back at any moment.
Seamus, are you all right?
Oh, my back fucking hurts.
It does hurt. Exceptionally hurts.
Let's get the fuck out of here, Seamus.
All right, you guys just heading up the head. Because if you move in the same direction, you guys can move your movement speed. It is thick woods.
Yeah.
So it's going to be harder for you. The elf appears to be moving nimbly through this, but he's held back by you two. So you three are now essentially a part of that proverb. What does it say about the weakest link? So you guys are all attached to each other, and you can only move as quickly as the slowest person. So he can't move ahead of you guys. But he appears to be kind of in the lead a little bit slightly. I need both of you guys to make me perception checks.
All right.
Oh, boy.
Oh, shit. I got a 1 out of 30.
Damn. Okay. How about you, Seamus?
I got a 96 out of 51.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, Seamus, you're hurt. You're hurt bad. You're not being as perceptive as you normally are. Marius, with your perception check, what are you looking for?
I'm looking to see if that dark elf took anything off me.
Okay. With that, especially with that check, you being a not very trusting man, especially towards this creature that you attempted to slay on the beach, and he didn't have the stones to face you in single combat. Of course, he just tried to pepper you from afar. Exactly. You kind of give him the furry eyeball behind him, and you notice that there's a bit of a bulge up his left area where there's a bit of a bracer on his left arm. It's tattered, and you can tell he's wearing a cloak as well. You each three have your Sea Dragon cloaks. They apparently weren't taken from you, though all your armor was stripped off your body. So you guys aren't wearing any armor, no shoes. So this is painful. This walk is not a fun walk up here. There's a couple jagged rocks you might slice your feet open on. But you're glancing at the elf, and you see that there's a bit of a bulge right there. With your critical success, you see just the tip of metal kind of gleaming out from underneath. You're not sure what it is, but it seems oddly familiar shape. You're not exactly sure, but there's a bit of a shape to it.
All right. Kind of cataloging that.
Okay.
I'm going to kind of. It's dark now. It's night, right? It's night.
Yeah, it is. The sun is descending. It's not dark yet, but it's getting there. You're in the afternoon, essentially. The sun is definitely descending, not ascending. I said it is starting to crest over where the ocean is, and that is going to be it. Pretty soon, darkness will be upon you.
I'll try to make a quick glance towards Seamus, and kind of dart my eyes, kind of directing my eye his arm.
Yeah, with Seamus's abysmal perception check, he has no idea what the hell what you're doing. And a matter of fact, he might have a little bit of shell shock. He's kind of just dazedly, just like almost like a zombie following behind you. So yeah, I imagine the crossbow is just kind of like maybe even dragging around his feet, like he's just kind of holding on to the handle of it and just kind of walking with you guys. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be grabbing my pick anyway.
Okay, you are like clutching it two-handed.
Yeah, I'll run. Yeah.
All right. So you guys are making your way, and you continue like this for probably about an hour or so. Just moving, and it's a slight incline. It's not like steep by any means. And finally, you reach what it looks like the crest of a hill. And you get up towards the top of it, and you look down, and you can see you guys are moving in the direction of that very, very large mountain. It appears to be not very far away, the one that you saw upon your arrival into the land of Nippon. You are maybe a day or two away from the base of the mountain. You're not sure. You can, from your vantage point, especially you, Marius, with your previous perception check, you kind of glance behind you, and you can see that the path that you guys were on, it's not a very well-traveled path, but a decently traveled path, is heading in that direction. So you definitely see that. You also see that there is bits of smoke arising from off to your left. So you glance over to your left. You see the telltale signs of smoke that you know to be the village where so many terrible things happen to you. You can tell that you're probably 2 days away. If your judgment of distance is accurate, and travel through this land, so by your judgment, you're probably 2 days out from that village. Which means that you guys have traveled for 2 days. Probably the first day you were not conscious. So you've gone 2 days without food or water. So that might be a thing at this point. But as you crest over the top of the hill, the Dark Elf kind of motions, the Corsair motions. And you can tell that his armor has been, it's useless. It looks like they didn't even bother to take it off of him. It's just in tatters. Almost like whatever happened to him just rendered him very, very almost destitute in what he looks like, almost like just a beaten down man. Like if you didn't know any better, if he laid still for long enough, you might think he was dead. That's how ravaged his person looks. He is not wearing a helmet. The helmet is long gone. His hair is pulled up into almost like a top knot. But it is matted with blood, like dried, coagulated blood. There's blood across his face, probably from where he saved you from the beastmen, or at least in his mind, saved you from the beastmen attacks. He glances down, says, there, and there appears to be like a natural corpse of trees, where you could probably take shelter for the night if you choose to. I think we can lay low here.
What's he saying, Varius?
He's speaking Reichsfield, right?
Yeah. He's speaking common tongue to the both of you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. If you say so, I need to take a rest.
Marius doesn't say anything and just kind of nods his head.
Okay. You move down to the corpse of trees to possibly bed down for the night. It's at this point in time that you should probably take stock of your equipment.
Yep.
Are we there?
You've made it to the. It wasn't very far, so you've made it there. You know for a fact, Seamus, you at least have your repeater crossbow. Marius, you at least have your pick. That's all you know for sure. So I'm gonna need both of you to roll me a d10, please, and then let me know what you get.
Oh, gee.
Right.
See how lucky I am. Or unlucky.
I rolled a 4.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
Yes. Oh, that's so good. Okay. So Seamus, we'll go with you first. You just collapse. There's almost like a dead log, a dead tree nearby, and you just kind of sit on a log, throw your pack down in front of you, open it. The Dark Elf has nothing. He didn't grab anything, so he just starts busying himself, kind of gathering some sticks as far as he can reach with the three of you all tethered together. Starts grabbing like some loose sticks and pieces of wood that he can kind of gather together to attempt to make some kind of fire with. But Seamus, you open your pack, and the first thing you notice is your original crossbow is not there. It's gone. Mm-hmm. It is long gone, as well as the bolts that were accompanying it. You only find 4 repeater crossbow bolts. That's it. That's all you find in there. As far as food is concerned, there is no food. There's no water. You do, however, towards the bottom, kind of buried underneath probably some of the bandages, which you still have, which appear to have been left in there. You do have your essence of Tarkag still. It is still there. And that's about all there is in your pack. The rest of it appears to be procured elsewhere. But then you kind of jiggle it a little bit, and you see just a flicker of something else underneath there. It looks like it was possibly overlooked, or perhaps somebody just kind of haphazardly stuffed it in here. You don't know how. Because you rolled so well, you see a flicker of metal.
Oh.
Reach your hands down in there, and you grab a hold of it, and it is the chainmail that you got from your family shrine. Your chain shirt is still in there. The leather armor appears to be gone, but you at least have this heirloom from your family's home.
Was that a +2?
Yes, it's a +2 for just your body.
Okay.
But I will say this: you might need to remove the splinters from your back before putting it on.
Oh, definitely.
Just food for thought. So we'll keep that in mind. That's all there is in your pack. Marius. Yeah. Do you want to ask something, Seamus?
No mask.
The mask is gone.
Damn it.
Mask is gone.
No.
That's all.
All right. Marius, you open your pack, and it would be easier for me to tell you what's in it than what's not in it. Let's see here. You open your
First
pack.
question, are my shoes in there?
There are no shoes. For either of you, there are no shoes. You open it up, Marius. You open it up. you see the kind of skin that bottles your essence of Tarkag. So that's still in there. You see a wad of bandages that appears to have been unrolled, and maybe, I don't know, somebody might have wiped their ass with it or something and put it back in there.
What?
Some kind of bizarre stain across it.
Jesus.
Your 50 feet of rope is still present. Your very reliable, trusty rope. And that's it. There's nothing else. With the exception, as you kind of dig your finger in there and something cuts your finger and you're like, God damn it. And you reach down in there, like, well, probably Sigma be praised or some shit. I don't know. You reach down in there and your hand grasps the hilt of the rusty blade that you snapped on Tarkag's neck all those months ago. And that's it.
Good thing I at least have that. So Marius rummages in his pack. No. No! More of that. Seamus! It's gone.
The fuck you talking about, mate?
Hail, Seamus. It's gone!
Oh. For fuck's sake, it's going to get any worse. Do you have your stupid piece of paper you went back for?
No, I don't have that either.
It's also gone.
Oh.
And that dawns on you, Marius. It's that piece of paper that you know has some kind of connection to how you got here is missing.
That's how we get off this God-forsaken place.
We're rightfully fucked now.
And the elf at this point is looking very amused at your plight. And he is currently kind of examining his fingernails. And he kind of looks down at the two of you. Well, enough with the chit-chat. How about we get a fire going? I found that it can keep the wildlife at bay.
Elfman, you get the fire going. Take this shit out me back.
I don't exactly have the means, as you can see. And he kind of pulls his cloak to the side, and you can see that he has nothing on him. Especially you, Seamus. You can't see shit. He doesn't have anything on him. But he also doesn't have shoes on. So as you can see, I have no means of starting a fire at the moment.
Oh. It's going to get worse from here.
Marius will come on and start, because we all have to go together to find wood and stuff. And
okay, he's collected enough wood. Yeah, he's collected enough wood to make like a small fire at this point within everything that was within reach. If you would like, I will need you to make an outdoor survival check to see if you can light this fire.
All right. That is going to be a 13 out of 41.
Okay, so you easily, not only are you able to, you kind of scrounge around further in your pack, and you actually find some flint and tinder. So you do have that now, so you'll be able to pretty much use to be able to start a fire with at ease from here on. So you manage to, you're like, oh, thank God, you find that, you get the fire started, and with that good of a roll, you also see on a branch, maybe 10 feet above you guys from one of the nearby trees, you see a little squirrel up on the branch and start kind of clinging itself, licking off its paws and whatnot.
Ah, Seamus. See that up there? Take a shot.
It's Seamus. With him pointing it out, Seamus, I'll let you go ahead and take a shot. If you would like.
Mate, I only got 4 of these. I don't want to waste them on a squirrel.
I know. It must be hard, but we're starving, Seamus. Shoot the squirrel.
Fuck, you're gonna eat a squirrel with 3 people, mate.
It's better than I eat anything. Shoot the fucking squirrel.
I mean, a fucking beast man comes and kills you. It's
That
your
would
fault
never
for
happen.
making me waste this boat. Alright, I wanna shoot at the squirrel.
Okay, make me a attack roll at -10 because it's a very small creature.
Alright, let's do it. Ooh, yeah, that's a 40 out of 46.
Oh, that's a critical hit. Oh man. Okay. All right. So not only do you spear the squirrel, you take it in such a way that you don't actually damage any of the meat. So you just expertly. And the elf is watching all this. He's kind of off to the side.
Oh, yeah.
And he looks a little. He's like, ooh, he like a little surprised. He wasn't expecting that. And he actually walks over and collects the squirrel, and he tosses it over to you, Seamus. Good shot.
Thanks, mate. I'll pull the bolt out and hope it's reusable.
Oh yeah, it's still reusable. Kind of clean it off, and you can reload it. Easy enough.
I'll look over to the dark elves. You're not the only one that can shoot these, you know.
It appears so. Though we'll come back to that later. And he just kind of looks off to the right. And he's kind of looking out into the darkness. You're not sure what he's kind of looking at. He looks a little on edge, very on edge. But you have plenty of time to clean the squirrel and distribute its parts. So you will not starve tonight. Though I will add, it's a squirrel. It's not a lot of meat. So there's, if you divvy out the portions for 3 people, you'll have enough to just stave off starvation, at least for a day. Or 2.
I'll let the meat kind of, get watered down inside my mouth.
Yes, because you can't chew. So you just kind of like slurp it. It's very disgusting, Marius. It's horrid as he's like trying to like slurp it through like a gap in his teeth. He's like, it's very gamey and thick and just And the elf is very perturbed at just being around the two of you in general. And after that, he's just like, oh, savages. And he just kind of turns his back to the two of you. I suggest we get some rest.
Not quite yet. And I look at him and I say, "What the hell are you?"
The hell am I? The hell are you?
I'm a man.
Well, it's easy enough, primate. You're obviously not from here.
I've never seen someone with such long ears.
He just chuckles at you. Of course you haven't. He's not answering your question.
Marius will kind of like stretch his arms, and then he'll put his hands on the chain that connects us together.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And as soon as your hand reaches go ahead.
I was a friend. I ask you, what are you?
Okay. He notices your hand on the chain, since I'm assuming you're not trying to like hide it, are you?
I'm not trying to hide it.
Okay. Yeah, so he sees your hand there. He's like, listen here, you filthy barbarian. I know treachery better than anything you've ever come up with. Pull that chain and you'll regret it.
If you're talking about that dagger in your armor, I'm going to put my pick through your head.
And he looks a little surprised that you noticed it. And he looks a little taken aback, but he takes it in stride. You have to hit me first.
Not a problem. And I pull the chain as hard as I can to
Okay.
Trip him up.
Okay, go ahead and make me a strength roll.
All right. It's going to be a 21 out of 55.
Okay. He didn't get enough to keep his footing, so you pull his feet out from under him, and he boom smacks onto the ground. And with just the strength, the momentum behind it, you pull him at your feet. You've got the pick at the ready. I'm gonna say,
I just want to.
What are you trying to do here? Is this gonna be an attack?
I'm not gonna try to kill him, but I'm gonna try to put my pick on his arm that has the blade.
Okay, so
and,
you
take my other foot and kind of put it on his chest to put my weight
okay. So
on
he's on the ground right now. Go ahead and roll me initiative, and we'll see how this goes.
Okay. That's 9.
So he hits the ground hard, and you pull him towards you, and you get the pick ready, and it looks like you're about to attack him, and faster than you, he reacts. His foot sweeps out from underneath. I need you to either roll me a dodge or a defense of some kind.
Okay. Can I use my pick as a defense?
You can, yes.
Okay. That's a 33 out of
Oh my god.
46.
A critical success.
Yes.
So, okay, do you want to do damage with this?
Marius would probably want to do a little damage.
It's all or nothing with the critical. So
all
you tell me.
Fuck, I could kill him.
You could. You could.
There's no way to just do hit him with the back of my pick, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Smack him across the face.
All right.
Just kind of.
I'll say with it being a critical hit, you see his leg lash out, and you almost out of instinct. How many levels of success is that?
It's 1.
So plus you do.
If we were doing full damage.
Yeah, what's the full damage?
It'd be 10 plus 1. 11.
Okay, so you bring the pick down and you plant it. I mean, with just a jab right hit the center of his forehead, and boom. And he's already taking some damage that you guys didn't really know about. He's taken wounds over the time, and you just see instantly the eyes roll in the back of his head, and he is rendered unconscious at your feet, unmoving, goes limp.
Okay.
I mean, he's out of it. Done. Just you, and one swift movement knocked him out. He's dead weight at this point, just laying there. Not dead, but unmoving, unconscious.
And so Mary's with him, and he'll take the knife away from him.
Yeah. So
is it one of my knives?
You reach to the left side, and it's barely held in there. You kind of just reach in there and you grasp the hilt. You pull it out, and it is the dagger with the horned rat on the bottom of it, with the kind of fang blade that you recovered off of the off of the beastman's corpse during your first adventure. So it is your dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he obviously lifted
Seamus.
from you earlier when he was helping you up.
Yeah. Seamus, this fucker stole my dagger. He was gonna stab us in the middle of the night.
You still fucking know that. He's the reason we're still alive.
Seamus, this thing tried to kill us on the beach. Tried to kill us in the jungle. He is not our friend.
Marius, there's plenty of things you've killed when you just come across them, you know. You can't blame him for shooting at us.
I can and do. And I take the dagger and put it back in my pack.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take the rope I have and tie up his hands.
Yes, you take your very, very reliable rope and tie his hands. So that's fair. And what else is that? Is that
I
what
don't know.
you're gonna
That's
do?
not. You know.
It's true.
Let's try to wake him up, and I'm gonna try to slap him a little bit.
Okay. Do you just leave him on the ground, or are you gonna like prop him up, or what are you doing?
I'm prop him up. Prop
Okay,
him
you
up, kind
prop
of against the
him
log.
up, kind of against the log. All right. Give him a good slap.
You don't
and
have
kinda...
any. You don't have. Before I do, I want to be like, Seamus, you don't have any questions for him. You're just fine with him just being here, trying to kill us. He might know where we are, you know, what he is. None of these questions come to mind.
Well, apparently he's got some ships, and we need to find a way out of this fucking place. And you just knocked him upside the head and killed him.
I haven't killed him. I held back, and I slap him. Wake him
Okay,
up.
you give him a good slap, and his eyes kind of opens, and he looks wide-eyed for a second, and then struggles. He's not strong enough to break out of these ropes. He just and nothing happens, and he kind of glancing around and doesn't see a way out, and just kind of resigned looks at you. Do your worst, barbarian.
What are you?
And he spits in your face. Right in your face. Ask your mother what I am.
Oh, my mother! Seamus, you best talk to this man.
Listen
I
here,
step back
friend.
and try to let Seamus try to talk to him.
Where are those ships you got? What are you guys doing? What are you doing here? Where are you going?
I don't need to answer your questions. One does not speak to the local fauna.
First of all, I'm not local, and second of all, I'm the only thing that's keeping you alive right now. You might want to answer some questions, or my little man over here is going to probably kill you.
Your little man's gonna get you both killed. I'm the only thing keeping you alive. You would have
He does have
died
a good point.
the other night without my aid.
You did. Well, you did
Oh yeah,
try to
is
shoot
that
us a
the way
couple
you
of
remember
times.
it?
That's exactly what
I remember.
happened.
I remember killing a beastman. I remember you running away and saying, let's go, and being a general cunt. And I grabbed the one of the sticks from the fire and started kind of walking over there.
Mm-hmm. And you see him, he grins a little bit more. You think you know what torture is? I've flayed the skin off your repulsive people several times over and fed their livers to them while they still breathed.
All right. And then I open up his mouth.
Okay. And he kind of
I'm tired of hearing you talk, and I'm gonna start moving the stick closer to his mouth.
He's like, Are you gonna stick it all the way in?
No, I don't stick it in. At the last moment, I lit up.
Okay.
You
You
wanna
let up.
talk?
You let up, and he. I knew you didn't have it in you, man thing.
Seamus, can we just kill this fuck and cut off his leg?
And
Oh, I don't know,
he
mate.
looks
I mean,
he looks at you. That's not gonna work.
I'd like to try.
You're more than welcome to try. Honestly, death might be preferable to what possibly awaits me.
What did you mean by that? Are they going to kill you?
I was captured by you fools. I can't go back to my people.
You were beaten, a couple of times.
I don't know about that. Let's just call it a tactical retreat. I was not expecting you. I was expecting the others. And to be honest with you, we were not exactly at our best. Man.
Seamus, thoughts?
I don't know. He can't go back to his people, so maybe we can steal one of these ships.
You're not going to get anywhere on the sea. The fleet's coming. And if the fleet doesn't get you, these men, far superior salesmen than we thought.
Well, I'll tell you what, while you're still talking, do you know anything about that mountain up there?
And he looks over the mountain, and I need... he just kind of shakes his head no. Shakes his head no. It's a mountain. But I do know these chains are very unique. I've seen similar kinds used by my people. They require a certain finesse that your kind lack to remove.
What do you think that is? Should they have him remove our chains first?
I don't think he has the ability to. He was in the cage and he was fiddling around for a day or two with his chain and he failed.
I was desperate at that time. Now that we're out of the cage, I'm sure I can find the means to remove our bondings eventually. But without me,
I don't have a lot of faith in you. You seem to fail at every opportunity you get.
and he just kind of, you could see just anger seething behind him. He's not saying anything. He knows you're right. But he just kind of sits there seething, just...
How big is the dent in the chain that I hit?
It's not big.
It's not big.
No, it's not. There's a chip missing out of one of the links. Just a chip.
But if I was to break the chain, we'd all be free.
If you were to break
The way
the
I had it
chain,
envisioned.
if you were to break the chain, you get the idea that yes, the links would sever and you all would be free.
Yeah.
What do you say, Marius?
We
He can't
supposed
go
to,
back to his people.
yeah, but he's not gonna be our friend. He tried to take a knife from us and stab us in the night.
That was for my own protection. Obviously, I needed it. And he kind of motions with his tied hands.
Obviously,
Despite
you
your
can't handle
tricks.
it. And
Oh, no.
shut up for now. Let's get some rest. I'm gonna try to pull out or get Seamus. Seamus, You pull out one of these splinters from my back.
The Dark Elf just laughs.
guess-
He's like,
I slap him across the face.
oh, how hard do you slap him?
1 point of damage hard, you know?
All right, you hit him, and he goes out again. Just crack! And the jaw goes to the side, and he's unconscious again, just laying there.
All right. That's good. That's fine.
So he's unconscious now. You're free to do as you please.
Seamus, would you mind getting this splinter out of my back, and I'll pull a couple out of you.
There are 2 splinters in Marius's back. They're relatively deep. Shards of, it looks like pieces of possibly the wagon.
All right, I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
Pop my fingers, you know.
You
pop my
can
knuckles.
you can attempt to make a heal test at -10 since you don't have the actual skill, which is intelligence based. So an intelligence test at -10 to attempt to remove them without any ill effect happening.
All right. That is a 48 out of 31.
Okay, so you get the idea that you're not going to be able to just remove these that easily. So your option now at this point, because you're prodding them and kind of pulling on them, they're a little bit deeper than you imagined, is to make me a strength test to attempt to rip them from Marius's body.
All right.
It'll be it will be, because you've poked and prodded, it'll be at +20.
Okay. Oh yeah, clutch. That is a 27 out of 50.
27 out of 50. What's your strength bonus?
I don't have one.
Yes, you
It's
do.
just 30.
30. So yeah, so it's 3.
Probably.
It's 3.
Yeah.
So Marius, he reaches into your back, grabs a hold of the first one. Do you even say anything? Tell him to brace himself or anything?
Nope, I just do it.
You just do it. So he rips it from your back. You take 5 points of damage as he rips the first splinter from your back, which you can use your toughness bonus to negate. So it just becomes 1 point of 1 wound. You're,
What's the goddess of mercy's name again?
Shalia.
Shalia. Shalia's tits.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. So, and then with that, you grab a hold of the next one and pull it free. You take another 5 points of damage, which is another wound for you.
I like want to. I'm about to slap the elf again. Out of anger.
Yeah, so he removes it. All right, and the wounds are open. They don't look good. If you'd like, you could probably bandage them. You guys have plenty. You both have plenty of bandage left over from your previous adventure. So
Thank God.
Yeah, you bandage them up. You guys are in dire need of bandages, the two of you. So,
Deal question.
Yes.
Are we both just like riddled with scars
Yes.
across our bodies?
Now I will say
assume-
I will say the only wounds that you have that might leave permanent scars are critical wounds. So Seamus's jaw will probably be a bad scar, and the goblin spear that pierced under your left eye is probably going to leave a nasty scar as well. But the rest of them are considered superficial. So with time, but you guys have taken quite a bit of damage over the past week or so. So you guys are probably riddled with like shallow wounds, and some of them deep that have kind of started to scab over and whatnot. But yes, you guys are not looking the best right now.
So how much damage did I take total?
You just take 2 wounds.
2 wounds. Okay.
So now it is your turn to attempt to help out Seamus here. Seamus has 4 splinters in his body. He has 1 in his left thigh, 2 in his back and 1 in his right shoulder.
2 in his back, 1 in his right shoulder, 1 in his thigh. All right.
Meredith, be gentle with me.
How many do you want me to? Oh, never heard that from a man before.
Oh God.
And then I asked Seamus, do you want me to pull them all out tonight, or do we want to do this over time?
Just get the one that looks the worst right now, and we'll see how I feel after.
All right. I want to try to take a medicine check on whichever one looks the worst.
Go ahead and make me a medicine check.
-10, right?
Yes, at -10.
I'm 62 out of something small. 26.
You can always re-roll it if you want.
You know what? Why not? Why not?
Okay, go ahead and re-roll.
It's for Seamus, you know?
It's for Seamus, yeah, exactly.
Remember, Marius, if I die, it's you and this elf.
It was close. It was 28 out of 26.
Oh, so, not quite there. So you poke and prod it, and you don't think you don't have the skill necessary to remove it. So go ahead and make me a strength check.
Well, I can do those
at +20 because you poked and prodded it.
Uh, 48 out of 75.
Holy shit. All right, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so it's only 2 levels of success. Plus your strength bonus is 5. So Seamus, he grabs a hold of the splinter in your back and just yanks it out, and you take 7 damage. Subtracted by your toughness bonus, so 2 wounds is what you take. Do you wish to continue?
Jesus. Sigma, fuck. That's enough.
Smarts.
I can't do any more, Marius.
Just one more.
One more.
Do you want to do one more, Seamus?
Yeah, I want to grab like one of those sticks or something and bite down.
Okay, you bite down.
Okay.
All right, you go ahead and you grab the next one in his back and pull it out. Mm-hmm. You can either re-roll or you can use the same roll. It's up to you.
Oh. If I fail the roll, I can't pull it out, right?
If you fail, you can't pull it out.
I'm afraid I'll do better. I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with it. I feel like this is about as good as we're going to get.
All right. So you grab hold of the second splinter in his back and rip it out again. Same consequences. 7 damage, 2 wounds.
Seamus drops to 0 health.
So Seamus, so you rip it out and you just feel Seamus go limp, and he face plants in the dirt ahead of you by the fire. Just so he is currently not unconscious, but you would be unconscious right now because of we're not in combat. For not combat purposes, he's unconscious. He can no longer feel any pain. So I will tell you this. Yeah, I will tell you this. I will tell you this as like DM, like player stuff. For this, once he drops to 0, taking out splinters and shit isn't going to do any more damage. He just can't feel it anymore. So he will probably be unconscious until the morning. Yeah, so you just take the rest of them out. He can't fight back. He's unmoving. So you just rip out the other 2.
If I have any of that powder, we don't have that powder anymore, do we?
It's gone. It's gone.
Nope.
Fucks. Those jet fucks. And I'm gonna bandage him up.
Okay, so you bandage him up to try to prevent the infection.
Yeah,
and I guess you guys don't have your bedrolls. You don't have blankets. You have nothing. So you just, I guess, just kind of bundle him up in his cloak and kind of just place him near the fire. And are you going to take a watch, Marius? Are you going to sleep tonight? Because you are with two unconscious people at this point.
I know. I'll probably take the first watch and see, how long it goes, and then I might fall asleep. We'll see.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. I wish I had that mask. Oh, it's 57 out of 30.
Okay, so
I'd like to reroll. Can I reroll?
Yeah, you can reroll it.
I'm gonna reroll. 3 out of 30.
Okay, all right, good. So darkness descends on the land. The sun is down. The moon is coming out. You see it is the pale moon, Mansleb, but you do see the chaos moon, Morsleb, behind it, off in the distance, ever present, shedding just a little sliver of green light amongst the normal moonlight. But especially after the events of today, you're kind of on edge. And you're looking around, and you hear some rustling in some of the bushes around you. You don't have any candles or anything. You also don't have your helmet, you now realize. Your helmet is gone.
Those bastards.
You have nothing, and you just kind of stand by the fire, clutching your pick at the ready, and nothing happens. Nothing jumps out and rips you asunder. I wouldn't do that to you. Or maybe I would later. I don't know. So that happens. So the rest of your watch goes uneventful. And you get the idea, if you continue to stay awake, you may become exhausted come the morning. Would you like to take a rest? Or are you going to power through?
I like to see if Seamus is getting a little bit stir. Is he stirring any?
No, he is unmoving. He is unconscious.
What about the elf?
The elf is also unmoving and unconscious.
Is he faking it?
Make me an intuition test.
Oh. That's a critical fail. 77 out of 24.
Do you want to re-roll it?
No, I'm not going to re-roll it.
Okay. He's unconscious. You look over at him, and he hasn't moved from where you slapped him earlier. He's still face down in the around the fire, just by the logs, tied up still.
Yeah. And I don't hear the rustling anymore.
No, you don't hear it anymore. Whatever it was, probably an animal of some kind, just kind of wandered off.
Okay. Then I'm probably trying to get some shut-eye. I might, if I could see, are there any leaves about, dry leaves?
Yes, there would be some nearby. The problem is there's only so many you can collect while tethered to two unconscious people. Especially if you don't want to disturb Seamus.
I'll try to gather as many as I can without disturbing him.
Okay.
Even if it's a few.
Okay.
And try to kind of spread them out a little bit, so if someone steps on it, I can hear crunching maybe.
Okay. All right. So do you spread them to where you walked in, kind of like the kind of path you walked in, or do you just spread them around the camp?
Kind of the path we walked in.
Okay, yeah, all right. So you kind of get as far as you can with the chain and start kind of tossing them out, kind of littering the path as best you can. You get the idea that you might wake up if something crunches on those leaves, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then you return back to your kind of spot in between the two unconscious people and drift off to sleep.
Fire.
Yeah. You put the fire out?
I stoke it.
Okay. Yeah. You rile it up, get it still going, so it will hopefully last you guys through the night. and you slip into unconsciousness. All right, I need both of you to roll me endurance tests at +20.
All right.
I rolled a 13 out of 75.
Okay.
I rolled a 23 out of 80.
Jesus, 80? My God.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm a hardy man.
you guys regain your toughness bonus plus your success level in wounds back for the day.
Nice.
So just do the math on that and add your health back, both of you. And
Yeah.
Marius, as you awake to the sound of a crunching leaf, and you kind of shoot up, and there is a knife at your throat.
Damn it. Is it the self fuck?
It is you. Do you pause or what are you doing?
How is he positioned over me?
He is above you, and the knife is like pressed into your flesh. And
Okay.
It is definitely the Dark Elf, the Corsair, and he's holding the dagger once again. He seems to have slipped his bonds. He was apparently pretending to be asleep. And he has the knife at your throat. I could have easily killed you. Unfortunately, I need you. And he stands up, sheathes the dagger in his, kind of tucks it into his waistband, and begins stomping out the embers of the fire. And at this moment, Seamus, you also awake.
Marius stands up and is like, "You're only alive because I deemed you necessary to be alive."
And he doesn't even comment. He just stomps the fire out. And he kind of sneers back towards you.
Now
Don't
get
worry.
that knife back.
I won't fall for your tricks again.
Friend, we're attached with a chain.
You're no friend of mine.
I'm pretty confident I can do whatever I want to you.
And you see his hand move back to the dagger, and you see there's a slight little gleam in his eye. But then he just turns. Let's keep moving. We have to find...
Gosh.
I've heard tales of some of the locals that can remove these shackles.
I kind of look at Seamus, like, I guess, let's follow this long-eared fuck.
Indeed, barbarian. And he just begins walking. You guys collect your things, and I'm assuming fall in step. Seamus, you are in severe pain. It hurts bad, but you're able to get up and keep walking and fall in line. Crossbow at the ready, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay, crossbow at the ready. All right. He begins walking, let's put it like this. What direction do you guys want to head in?
I'm assuming we're heading towards the mountain.
Okay, all right. So he kind of motions that way. He doesn't know where he's at either, so he's just kind of randomly walking in a direction. And are you going to go back down to the blast site? Or are you going to just follow kind of nearby in the tree line? Or how do you guys want to approach said mountain? There is a path that you can see, the trail that the samurai took. Or you guys could probably make your way through the kind of forested area that you guys are in now at probably a slower pace, but you could do that, or you could take the path, or you could attempt another route, perhaps maybe climbing further up this kind of another hill crest and maybe get a better view. You don't know. It's up to you guys.
I think the path might be easier on our feet. So I'm hurting pretty bad.
Good point. Good point.
And
I've run into more of those men, though.
Yeah, it's at this point, Marius and Seamus both, you kind of look down and you notice the Dark Elf, who's been kind of leading the way. His feet are bandaged with your guys' bandages, wrapped heavily around his feet to protect them.
I'll check my pack to see if I have any bandages left.
You have no bandages left, Seamus. They're all gone.
Oh,
They're all wrapped around his feet. The what wasn't used on your chest is all wrapped around his feet.
You check my fucking bandages.
You didn't need them. You're fine. And he just keeps walking.
Maybe it's right. This guy's the right prick.
I told you, Seamus. He did try to kill us first sight he saw us.
So are you going to go down to the path?
Yeah, probably, since our feet are...
Yeah. Okay. So you make your he kind of agrees with you guys. He doesn't really speak much, but he kind of leads the way down to the blast site where the man detonated himself. There is charred remains and just body parts randomly laying in odd places as you approach. There is almost nothing left of the wagon. Do you guys want to try to kind of search the area to find anything, or do you guys just want to keep moving?
Are there any body parts left? Like
there are body parts, yes, of both beastmen and men as well.
Are there any shoes?
Okay, go ahead and make me a perception check. Seamus, are you helping with this?
Yes.
Okay, so plus 10.
Oh, gee. That is 35 out of 40. Just enough.
Just enough. So you find the remains of half a torso of a man of Nippon that apparently isn't charred and blackened. So it's just the waist down. And upon his feet are 2 wooden clogs of some kind. You've seen the people wearing them. You know they act as some kind of footwear, but there's only one pair that you find.
Oh, Seamus, take these.
All right, he passes them to you, Seamus. You gonna put them on?
Yeah, I'll put them on to see if they're gonna be the right size.
You put them on. Your foot is massive compared to a man of Nippon. But you could make it work. It's better than just bare feet.
All right, if I can make it work, I'll make it work.
You can make it work. It's a little awkward at first, like your toes are kind of hanging off the edge. But you as you begin walking around, you kind of get used to it. And the Dark Elf just kind of scoffs at you as you kind of like tape them onto your feet to kind of try to bandage them together. And that's about all you find with just a level of success, unfortunately.
Okay. Could I take like the clothes off of him and like wrap them around my feet?
Yes, you can take his bloody, soot-stained trousers, well, the material that is his trousers, like the bottom half of what essentially is like some kind of peasant kimono, and rip them off and then bandage your feet with them, sure.
Yes, that's what I'll do.
They're not filthy and disgusting and going to give you the plague later. It's fine. So you bandage your feet and you can continue walking. All right. You guys cover the distance. Are you moving? Well, Are you trying to move stealthily while tethered together, or are you guys just kind of moving at like a decent pace?
Is he moving stealthily?
He is not moving stealthily.
I'm probably.
Yeah, I imagine.
If anything, he's moving kind of arrogantly, very tall, almost like he's the master of this domain, despite his very ragged appearance. And he's just kind of walking chest out in the center of the road.
What's your name, friend?
And he, over his shoulder, you can call me Venerous. I don't need to know yours. And he just keeps walking.
Very well.
Oh, good. I wasn't going to tell you.
And a full day almost comes to pass without anything happening. You... actually, you know what? Both of you go ahead and make me perception checks while you're walking.
Oh, boy.
At plus 10?
No. Individual checks.
Damn.
Mine was 42 out of 30.
Okay. How about you, Seamus?
I got 39 out of 51.
Okay, Seamus, as you're walking, you make it almost to where you're getting the idea that pretty soon you're going to have to camp out. And you've noticed that the path that you're taking is starting to wind quite a bit. And you hear just off in the distance, you just hear a ting. Almost sounds like metal hitting something. You're not sure. It's a very odd sound because you've been in the forest kind of area for so long. It's just kind of strange to hear metal working of some kind. But it kind of carries on the wind. You're not sure where it's coming from. It is definitely farther up ahead. But you do hear it nonetheless. The elf also, his ears kind of perk up and he kind of looks around. And he looks back at the two of you and he's got a wide grin on his face. Think we might have found a way to get out of these fucking chains.
If you say so, friend.
All right. And he's actually going to camp for the night. He kind of recommends that you guys stay here for the night, settle down, and proceed in the morning.
All right. Do we see any food along our way?
With your perception check, you see nothing. Seamus, you've glanced up in the sky. You've seen a few birds here and there. It's up to you if you want to attempt a shot at one.
I'll pass on shooting a bird.
Okay. I'll say, Marius, go ahead and make me a outdoor survival check to see if you can scrounge up anything.
Okay. That is going to be a 38 out of 41.
With just a success, you spot out of the side of your eye another bushel of berries. As you're walking.
Oh, yeah, berries.
The berries that you've eaten before, so you know they should be safe. And the dark elf beats you to them and eats about half of them before you get there, greedily gulping them down. He appears that he definitely prefers this to whatever the hell you guys have been kind of subsiding on the rest of the day. But you manage to get half of the bushel before he begins just gluttonously stuffing them down his throat.
I push him out of the way.
You push him and he
shove him out of the way.
You shove him out of the way. And he stumbles. The chain grows taut. And how hard did you push him?
Medium Marius. You know,
medium Marius. Medium Marius is pretty damn strong. So you push him. The train draws taut and pulls Seamus's leg out from underneath him, and he falls on his back and just crock in the middle of the road. As the chain is connected on that end to him.
Sorry, Seamus. Wasn't my intent.
The fuck, mate.
Oh, I'm sorry. This greedy bastard was trying to eat all these berries. And I picked the rest of them and split them between myself and
and Seamus. Okay, so you guys split them for the night. You camp out. Get kind of a similar setup to the previous day. The elf looks very agitated the entire time. He looks like he's even more agitated, almost like he doesn't want to spend another moment with either of you. But it appears that the gods have different ideas. So, are we taking watches? What are we doing?
Yeah, I imagine taking watches.
Okay, so are you taking individual watches, or how are we doing this? Are you going to allow the elf to take a watch?
No, not by himself at least.
Okay, who stays up with him?
I'll stay with him.
Okay, so you take the first watch, Marius, with the elf. Seamus, you can get some Z's. You lay down. Go ahead and make me a perception check, sure.
That's a 5 out of 30.
Okay, so you easily seem on edge as well, especially with this shifty bastard next to you. You don't see much. You don't hear much either. You're just kind of sitting there next to your kind of low fire that you have. You do hear some very familiar growling out in the distance. Your ears perk up and you kind of shiver for a second, remembering the last time you heard it. It is the exact same sound that a very large beast made that mauled you in the middle of the night. And the elf also looks agitated. He's looking around and clutching at the dagger in his, which he's now drawn out of his waistband, and just kind of nervously looking out into the darkness. And then nothing happens. The rest of your watch goes uneventful.
Venrus, go take a look out. Go take a look out there, Venrus.
And he looks at you. Are you a fool? And he just moves his leg, and his leg goes taut against Seamus's form and yours. Exactly how far do you think I could get out?
As far as you can get away from me. And I laugh, and I wait till it's Seamus's turn.
Okay, it's now at this point in time your watch is over. It's time for Seamus. It's time for your watch.
I tell him before, Seamus, I think that cat thing is out there. Be careful. Go on to sleep. Hopefully I don't. Thanks. Hopefully I don't get mauled in my sleep again.
Marius, go ahead and make me a cool test, sir. Okay. As you attempt to get some shut-eye.
That's a 21 out of 60.
Okay, so you easily, despite some flashbacks as to what happened the last time you heard that similar sound, you drift asleep. Seamus surely won't let it happen again. He's a good man, a stout lad. So you feel confident that you can get your night's rest. So you drift to sleep. Seamus the elf, you see him kind of close his eyes, but he's almost standing, kind of leaning against the tree. You're not sure if he's asleep or not. It's kind of unnerving. But go ahead and make me a perception check for your watch.
That is a 52 out of 51.
Do you want to spend a fortune point, or do you want to re-roll it, or you can just use one to make a success?
Yeah, I'll just use one to make a success.
Okay, so one level of success. So you don't fall asleep. That's a good thing. You kind of hear some farting noises come from Marius's direction. The berries he ate
The berries.
have never settled well with him. He kind of, you see the elf instantly wrinkle his nose and just kind of kick at him, like kick some dirt onto Marius, who doesn't even wake up. He's so tired. And he just, and he kind of tries to roll away from him, and he also appears to have gone to sleep. You hear the hooting of an owl, and you kind of look up, and you see a silver owl. I mean, as silver as moonlight. It's strange. You've never seen that color before. And then you hear another set of hooting, and you look up again, and there is a golden owl. Almost identical to the first, but golden instead of silver. And as odd as that is, that's all that happens during your watch.
All right.
The morning comes. You guys all rise, break camp, and I'm assuming you set off for your next day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Seamus, go ahead and make me a perception test at plus 20.
That is a 51 out of 71.
Okay, good. 2 levels of success. All right. So you guys break camp and begin heading down the path again. The elf is kind of glancing around, and he appears to be looking for something. You make it about halfway through the day, so it's about probably 12 or 1, and you can hear the ting, ting of metal on metal once again, much louder than it was before. You get the idea that you are eerily close to whatever is making that sound. Probably within a few hours you might be there. It's kind of odd how the sound is carrying this far away, but somehow it is, and somehow you're able to hear it. And apparently the elf can hear it as well, because he also is kind of glancing around. Marius appears to be oblivious for some reason. But you begin walking, and at this point you're almost to the base of the mountain. You're very close. And looks like the path leads to the base of the mountain, and it looks like it might even ascend up the mountain, because you don't see any kind of destination. Though, you will need to get closer to finally figure out what's going on there. But you make it a few more hours pass of travel. You hear some rustling in the woods here and there, and you hear the braying scream of beastmen in the distance, the feral cats that you encountered earlier. Though they appear to be farther away, much farther away. And the noise begins picking up again. Ting, ting, ting. Appears to be, sounds faster. And at this point, Marius, even you can hear it. And the elf kind of looks around and looks further up the kind of crest of the hill, similar to the one that you crested earlier. And just motions for the two of you to follow him. And you see him crouch low and attempt to stealthily move up this hill.
Oh, gee.
I guess we follow.
Are you moving stealthily?
Oh, we're going to try.
I tried to.
Make me those stealth rolls, boys.
Oh, gee. Oh, yeah, no. I got an 87 out of 26.
You want to re-roll that?
What did you get, Seamus?
I got a 49.
I'm not going to re-roll it unless Seamus re-rolls it.
You re-rolling, Seamus?
It's my last fortune.
Let's re-roll
Okay.
it.
Alright.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't do too bad. I got 15 out of 26.
Okay. Okay. How about you, Seamus?
I got a 99.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes. Oh, yes. Critical failure. Oh, that's so good.
Oh.
Okay, then. So, you see Marius, who's in the center. He crouches down low, kind of following the lead of the elf. Seamus, you do the same. At least you think you do. You think you're stealthy. Stealthy guy, on occasion, at least. And you all crouch down and begin ascending the hill. The sounds are coming louder. And you get to kind of a clearing towards the top. And it appears that there's just a flat wall. Just stone. And the elf approaches and he just looks around bewildered. You can't exactly, you can tell that the sound is emanating from here, from where you're standing, but you can't see anything. What are you guys doing?
It's just like a solid stone wall.
It appears to be just a stone wall, just like, well, not a wall, like a natural stone wall, not like somebody built a wall here.
Okay. I guess I'm just like feeling around and seeing if I can see anything, I guess.
Okay, so you're actually going to go up and like try to touch the wall?
Yeah.
Okay, so you start moving up there, and the elf kind of sees what you're doing, and he kind of motions his head. Be careful, man. There might be traps afoot. Do you still continue to attempt to touch the wall?
My perception doesn't see anything. Like I don't see anything that would,
go ahead and make me a perception check then. How about that?
Okay.
Or better yet, make me an intuition test.
Alright. Oh yeah, no, very good. 60 out of 24.
Okay, so you can't see shit, and you have no idea what's going on, but you're going to attempt to touch the wall?
I'd probably touch it.
Okay, so you start touching the wall. It's cold stone, just like you would expect. And you start kind of moving your hands back and forth. How long are you going to do this for?
Just for a little bit. Just for like a couple seconds.
Okay, so for a couple seconds, you start patting here and there. And then you hear a tink right next to, just like almost in your face. It's so loud. And you glance over to your right, and you move to put your hand through the next part of the wall, and it just passes through. As if the stone wasn't there.
Oh, shit.
And you just feel air. Hot air on the inside with your hand.
How hot?
It's very warm. Uncomfortably warm.
There's something with this wall.
And we are
I kinda
going to
motion
take
to
our
the
break
exit.
right then. Right this moment. And we'll pick this up here in a couple minutes, boys.